don't know how. I on my camera, tapi benda itu tak keluar. Kalau macam ni ada? Ada?
Ni ada. Boleh
Ini
nampak.
ada sebab saya besarkan dia. Kalau saya put in the share screen tu, dia tak ada. Tak apa. Yang penting you can hear me. Alright. Now we go back to the discussion. Okay. Like I said on Monday, I will discuss today about how to get the demand and the supply function. I forgot to do that. And we have already discussed about the market equilibrium, how to get the equilibrium price or the market price, and how do we get the equilibrium quantity. So today I will, I will finish up this chapter number 1 with to determine or to derive the demand function. So we want to to determine the demand and supply functions. That's number 1. That will finish up chapter 1. So end of chapter 1. And I will continue with chapter number 4. We are going to talk about inequalities. Okay, before that, I also forgot. I should have, mentioned 2 things. I have 2 announcements to make. Okay, number 1, our group homework 1. I give you the homework 1. There are 2 questions from chapter number 1. Alamak. Boleh tadi saya dah tulis. Mana nak pergi? Where I got to find. I want to assign to you 2 questions. Tadi saya dah tulis lah. Okay, 2 questions. Question 1 is 1.3, exercise 1.3, question number 46. Now, question number 46 is about the parallel. So if you have a different addition, and see the number, okay? 246, you want to find the linear function which is parallel to some function that is given in the question. So in 11th addition, that is number 46. So you have parallel 2, and the point given 6, -4. Okay, that question parallel 2. There is a function. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, I want you to do 1.6, question number 56. This is on the GDP. So these are the 2 questions. Deadline. Okay, deadline means you can submit earlier, but not later than Sunday, 5 p.m. Okay, Sunday, 31st October 21, 5 p.m. So should be there. Now, this is a group, right? Group. Only 1 answer per group. So you don't have to send your own answers, all right? You send 1 answer per group. So 1 work per group. And in your work, include your names and your metric number. Okay, full name, metric number, as well as names including the group, the group. I mean, you and your friend. I think I received a message, but I'm not sure about this class. If our class is odd, the total number of students is odd number, then one student, okay, the last person, your group will be only one person. So that group is only consisting of one person. So you do it by yourself, but you can discuss with other people. Okay, you can discuss with others, but you submit by your own work. Okay, your own work. In other words, I'm also informing you. If you want to discuss, you can discuss, but you write your own. Okay, write your own. Do not copy. If you have a question, you can ask your friend, discuss with your friend, but you write your own work. Okay, write your own work, please. If I see exactly two answers exactly the same or very similar up to the decimal point, the way you write it same, so I suspect it's not your own work. So do your own writing. All right, this is it's a practice, and we have time because I give you until Sunday. So make sure you send this by 5 p.m. Sunday. Okay, that's number one. Now, number two, I need to have a makeup class because we missed the first week. Okay, makeup class. Depending on the coverage, I want to be the level of coverage. I want to be I want to be the same as the other class. So it may take 1 hour. It may take more than 1 hour. So I have a few options, either Friday or Saturday. Now, which one do you like, Saturday or Sunday? No, Saturday or Sunday block. Friday or Saturday?
I think Friday is better.
Friday, sir.
Friday.
Friday, eh? Ada kelas Friday? No class on Friday?
Yeah, no class.
Okay, good. So Friday, what time? Do you want in the morning or you want in the afternoon or
Same
you want
time.
at night?
Afternoon.
Same time.
Afternoon. Same time,
Same time,
3:30?
same time.
Same time.
Okay, bagus. So Saturday, Friday ni, this Friday tau, bukan Friday next week. Friday ni berapa bulan? Friday 29, okay, 29 October. Okay, we have a makeup class 3:30 p.m. We try first 1 hour, if we cannot, we extend, all right? Because I need to make up for the first week. I cannot postpone anymore because the longer we wait, that means I will have to extend it further. Okay, all right, good. Any problem? Any question? Anything? Okay, so everything clear. So the homework is due Sunday, and then we have a makeup class on Friday. Okay, now let's continue with the demand function and the supply function. So in order for you to get the demand and the supply function, we do this. So the demand and the supply functions. Now let's go with the demand function first. Now the way we specify the demand function, P as a function of Q. Now having said that, of course, we can also say Q as a function of P. Okay, you can also do this, but normally, especially for this chapter, we will relate P in terms of Q. That means P as a function of Q. Now, when we do that, P will be the dependent variable. Okay, so this one will be the dependent variable. In general, that will be the Y, and then this is the independent variable. So in other words, that's the Y, and that is the X. But we normally use this form. Now, when you specify P as a function of Q, the ordered pair or the point, okay, a point, then will be in terms of QP. So the Q is the independent variable, P is the dependent variable. So that's how you write a point on the demand function. okay, QP, because we specify P as a function of Q. So you want to determine the demand function given some information. Now, the most common information, of course, the other, the other option easily follow from there. So given some information, we will do 2 points. So of course, you can also get, given 1 point, and we are given the slope. But this thing you can do on your own. Or given the intercept, all right? That means the price intercept, and also given the slope. So here we can do it. We will go with the 2 points. So given 2 points, how can you find the demand function? So we will determine the 2 points according to that order, okay? QP. Since you will get the demand function P as a function of Q, so our demand function will be equal to negative mx plus b. As you can see here, the slope is negative, and that b is normally constant, positive normally. Okay, all right. Now let's do this by looking at an example. So you go to 1.6. To 1.5. Okay, 1.6. All right, 1.6. Look at example number 5. So go to example number 5 in the demand function. Market equilibrium demand function. So I want you to read that example. Okay, read that example, and then we can see, okay, we can see how we can get the demand function and how we can get the supply function. But first, we will just focus on the demand function. Okay, read that example. Okay, so I think for the cost, the revenue kita dah buat. Okay, so you want to find the demand function. Now, demand function is the buyer, okay, buyers or consumer. But if you look at the example here, it's not in terms of the final consumers. It's in terms of, intermediaries, intermediate party between the intermediate party and the primary and the producer, the primary agent. So you have the wholesalers, all right, the wholesalers, and you have the manufacturers. So the manufacturers here are the sellers, okay, because they are producers, and the wholesalers, they are not the consumers of the product, but they are the buyers. Okay, they will buy, and then of course these people here will sell to the final consumers. So it's a little bit different kind of market, but still, all right, you have the buyers, you have the sellers. So the buyers, they demand the product, and the sellers will supply. So from here, if you want to get the demand function, then we will go by our specification, P as a function of Q, right? And we are given 2 points. If you look at this question, you are given 2 points. So we'll make use of this in order to get the demand function. Now, what are the points? So you can denote the first point by Q1, P1. Okay, what is it equal to? And then you have the second point, Q2, P2. Okay, what is the point? So you look at the question, look at that example. Okay, what is the first point? In order to get the demand function, give me one point.
300 or 200.
300?
300, yes.
300 is what? What is 300?
Is the price.
Price is 300. So there is only half a point. We want a point. Point means you have to describe it full.
Uh, 30 units if the price is $300.
So the quantity is 30, price is 300. So that's one point. What is the other point?
$50 dryers if the price is $200.
But, 30 and 200, 300 itu betul lah tu. That's one point. Give me the other point. Because we need 2 points.
50 and 200.
50 and 200. All right. So we can say that Q1 is 50, P1 is 200. Why you do that? Because that is the first point given. So first point given, we say Q1, P1. Okay. But you can also the other way. You can also do it the other way around. P1, Q1 is the other point. That's fine. But normally we just follow the order given in that example. And the second point is 30, 300. Okay, so these are the points. And remember, the point must be in the order QP, because our demand function is P function of Q. Okay, all right, good. So that is the one. So now what you want to do here, we know the demand function, okay, P minus M Q plus B. Or, I think we don't do that. Maybe we just take out the negative sign, because sometimes that can be confusing. I will take out the negative sign. I take out the negative sign so that when you have the value negative, sometimes we may, if you put a negative, if you find a negative, then you have negative, negative, so become positive. So I don't put that negative sign, and we just mention here, M is less than 0. All right, and that B is bigger than 0. So I think that will be clearer. So you have P equal to MQ plus B. So whatever M that we get, we should have a negative value. First, what you need to find? We need to find M, okay, the slope. That means the slope of the demand function. So as you know, what is M? M is equal to delta P over delta Q. And given the 2 points, that is P2 minus P1, Q2 minus Q1. Okay, so given the points, we just substitute. So if you look at the book right away give you 300 minus 200. How do you get that? Okay, so we have to start from the beginning, from here, so that we know what we are doing. Q2 30 minus P1 50. So you will get 100 minus, no, not minus, divided by negative 20. So that is equal to negative 5. So the slope is -5. So as you can see, we get a negative value. All right, so m is -5. Okay, all right. So what you do next is that we have the function. So now we have half the function. You have what? If p equal to -5q plus b. So next is what? To find b. Okay, all right. To find b, either you substitute, okay, substitute q1, p1, or you substitute what? p2, q2, p2, or q2, p2 into what? Into the demand function, to the p. So I want you to find, if your name is start from A to M, you use P1, Q1, P1. If your name start with N to Z, you substitute the second point, and we should get the same demand function. Okay, do it now. I'll give you 2 minutes. If your name from A to M, okay, use the first point, or otherwise you use the second point. Okay, all right. Saras Bala. Who is this Saras Bala? Hello, Saras
Yes,
Bala, are you here?
yes.
What is this your first name, Saras Bala, or your name is different?
My name is Saras.
No, this one. How do you say your name? Faras? Saras.
Saras Bala. Yeah, just Saras.
All right. So this is your full name, right? All right.
No,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Oh,
Okay. Now I see here there are quite a number of people who still do not have your picture with your name. So please put in your picture, all right, like the others. So Saras, you put your picture. Hazik, you know, because if you don't put your picture, I do not know who you are. And if you don't, all right, I will deduct, because I told this a few times already. If you still do not want to put your picture, I will deduct any work that you do. I deduct some points. All right, the homework, the test, the quiz, everything, I will deduct some marks. So if you think that you have too many marks that I can deduct, then continue to be stubborn. Okay, do not have to put in your picture. Then okay lah. Okay. So I told a few times already. Dah penat dah cakap. Okay, this one Abid ni. What is your name, Abid? What is your full name?
Abid Ayub.
Abid Ayub.
Yes,
So
Ayub.
you that sets tu lah. Your name Abid je kan. So macam nama saya lah, senang je alias. So that's good lah. I thought your name is Muhammad Abid ke atau apa. So but if your name is just Abid, that's good. So that is alright. But you put picture lah sini, letaklah gambar. Okay. Put your own picture. Jangan letak gambar orang lain. Alright. Okay. So I just want to remind you this. Okay. Right.
Okay,
So
sir.
now let's continue. If you put P1Q, P1, P1, what is the value of B that you get? Berapa dapat B?
450.
Or 450. What about if you put the second point?
same font.
So make sure work on your own. Don't look at the book. The book tu dah siap bagi semua tu. So you should get 450. So what you do here, let's say I substitute P1, Q1. You choose your own. It doesn't matter which one. Q1, P1, which is equal to 20. Berapa tadi? Q1, P1, 50 to 100. 50 to 100. Okay, 50 to 100 into P. So what do I get? I get 200 equal to -5 multiplied with 50 plus B. So you bring that constant 250 to the other side, you get positive, so that will be 450. So I got B50, and therefore our demand function, okay, P equal to negative 5x plus 450. All right, so that is our demand function. Now we do the same thing to get the supply function. So in order for us to derive the supply function, we also specify it as P function of Q. So the ordered pair or the point will be such that you have QP. All right. So to get the demand function, to find the supply function, we also specify P as a function of Q. So you are given 2 points. Okay, given 2 points, you have P, not P, Q1. You see, sometimes you tend to make that mistake, but it should be Q1, P1 equal to, and then you have Q2, Q2, P2. All right. Now, if you look at the example, the manufacturer is the seller, okay, the supplier. Okay, give me the first point of the supply function.
20 and 210.
So Q1 20, P1 210. So that's our first point. Second point, it's what? 30 apa? 230. Okay, all right. So now I want everyone to find the supply function. Okay, so find now. I give you 5 minutes. So you get the M first, all right? You get the M first, and then get the B. So don't jump, all right? Don't jump. If you look at the book, they just jump. They give you M equal to just the numbers subtracted. Don't do that, okay? We have to go by the system, okay? Show it step by step. What is M? And then you get the ratio of the difference, and then only you subtract the numbers. Okay? All right. So do it now. I give you 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, you got it. Now, what is M? Anybody, the first person who got it, just let me know. What is M? What do you get for M?
2.
2. Okay. So M is equal to 2. So you have to start. Okay. What is M? M is equal to, okay. Before that, you have to find the supply function. Supply is again equal to, we put the demand function M plus B. So here you can say NX plus C. That's okay. Or you can choose any, or you don't have to specify. All right, you don't have to do this. That's fine. As long as we know that is a linear function, P function of Q. So you have M equal to what? Equal to delta P over delta Q, and then the difference P2 minus P1 divided by Q2 minus Q1. So you got 2. You subtract the values, boom, boom, you got -2. No, not -2, +2. So the demand, or I'm sorry, the supply function, I have the slope positive, so that is right. If you have a negative slope, that means it's wrong. Okay, so that's how to check for the slope of supply. It should be positive. So you do the work here. Okay. Now once you get that thing, so what? So now we have the supply function P equal to 2Q plus C, or you can use B. It's okay. So now to find C, all right, to find C, we substitute. Okay, now let's say I substitute the second point. Q2, P2 equal to 30 to 30. Okay, into P. All right, have you done this? Have you done this one to find the value of the constant? If you have not done it, do it now. Okay, all right, good. So I will substitute the second point. What do we have? We have 230 equal to 2. Can that person mute your mic? It's bringing the sound to me. That sound of bunyi angin. Siapa yang on mic tu? Can you turn it off? Dia macam bunyi angin.
30.
So, apa tadi? 30. Ya, 30 plus C. So what is your C? C is equal
170.
to 100, 170. 170. So you do the subtraction lah. So therefore, our supply function, okay, you can just put S, P equal to 2Q plus 170. Okay, all right. So that's how we get the supply and also the demand function. Saya ada bunyi ni lah, bunyi angin. Can you, ada orang on dia punya ni tak? Dia punya mic. Kalau on, can you turn off? Ke memang macam ni? Dia bunyi berdengung kat saya punya ni. Saya punya earphone. Kenapa pula? Okay. Cek. Siapa punya mic on tu? Saya punya berbunyi telinga saya. Berbunyi dekat saya punya ni, earphone saya. Habis siapa on mic dia tak? Can you turn it off?
Headphones.
Ke masalah bro? Apa masalah? Masalah saya ke?
Maybe the audio jack.
Huh?
Phones.
Apa dia?
Audio.
Saya punya ke? Tadi okey je.
Saya rasa doktor punya.
Ya. Dia bunyi
Semua mute ni. Sebab saya dah check semua mute.
Oh, ya ke? Alamak. Dia bunyi dekat saya punya tu. Apa nak buat tahan je lah. Kalau semua dah mute. Selalunya kalau tak mute pun dia tak ada bunyi macam ni tau. Dia tak ada bunyi macam bunyi angin. Macam-macam lah. Okay, tak apa. Alright. We will apa? think we're done. We're done with chapter number 1. I gave you already the questions on the supply function. Betul tak? Rasa Monday itu I give you 48, 49, 50. That is for the demand function. For the market equilibrium. Okay, correct. So we're done. All right. Any question on the break even or the market equilibrium? Semua okay? So make sure you do the questions, especially on the application. So if you don't have any problem or any question, we will move on. I will move on to a second topic. Our second topic is chapter number 4. That chapter number 4 is on inequalities. Okay, inequalities and linear programming. So this will be chapter 4. All right. Now, first thing that you want to do here is you want to define inequalities. All right. What is an equality? Inequality. Define inequality. Equality. All right. What is an inequality? So this is what we want to do. Now, what is an inequality? You know equation. All right. Equation is something that you have if you look at the general form. Okay, look at the general form. We have ax plus by equal c. So that is equation. You have the left-hand side equal the right-hand side. Here you have the variables x, y, both are on the same side. The constants are on the other side. So we are going to consider, right, for inequality, the general form corresponding to the equation. So equation is something that you know, all right? Now, what is inequality? What is inequality? Equal is equation, okay? Inequality, what? What does it mean?
Not
Inequality
equal.
means what?
Not equal.
It's unequal, unequal, okay? Not equal. So this is not equal. So what we have is ax plus by not equal to c. Okay, so that is the sign, not equal. All right, not equal to c. Now, if it is not equal, all right, if they are not equal, then what? Then how are they related? If the left-hand side is not equal to the right-hand side, then how are they related? Then how? Okay, how? Let's say, you consider you and your friend. If your age and his or her age is not the same, it's not equal, then how is your age related to her age? If they are not equal, then what? If your age is not equal to his age or her age, then how both of you relate in terms of age? Cepat, how?
We can find the average.
Yeah, that's good. Good idea. But don't find the average. Okay, don't find the average. We don't need the average. You just need how is your age relate to her or his age, in terms of how are you related in terms of age. Just look at the numbers. All right, your age is not equal to his age, so in terms of age, how are you related? Cepat-cepat. Give me idea. Average, good idea. But that is not what we want. Okay, I'll give you another hint. Let's say your height. If your height and your friend's height are not the same, okay, then how is your height related to his height? How are you related in terms of height?
Difference?
The difference, okay? So when it is a difference, when there is a difference, then how do you tell it? How do you describe it?
Inequality.
Inequality. Inequality itu dah laju sangat, jauh sangat. Before you reach the inequality itu, apa dia? Apa dia? It's either what? Let's say your height is 5.5 feet and your friend's height is 6 feet. So how do you compare to him? How you relate in terms of the height? How your height relate to his height, or how are you related to him in terms of height?
He is higher.
He is higher than you. You don't call higher. You call what? Taller. Okay. It's either you are taller than him or you are shorter than him. All right. In terms of the age, either he is older than you or he is younger than you. Okay. So same thing here. If that thing is not equal, then what? Then how are they related? If they are not equal, of course we know it's not equal, it's unequal, all right? It's inequality, but specifically, how is it related? So, I write here, so you have ax plus by, you don't say taller or shorter, okay? What do you say? Can you see it? So it's either what? If they are not equal, what are the options? Either you are bigger than, not, okay, bigger than, so that is the sign, or less than, smaller than. All right. So that sign bigger than or larger than. What is done here is less than or smaller than. All right. So here we take a short break until the azan is completed. All right. Assalamualaikum. Are you still here? Okay. Now, you have inequality bigger than or less than. This is what we call strict inequality. All right. We can also have the following. We can also have ax plus by bigger or equal to, or ax plus by less or equal to. So here with the equal sign, so or equal to. It can be equal to or it can be bigger than. All right. So this is less restrictive. So we call it less strict. You have the equal sign. Now, the one that we commonly use is this one. Okay, for the first type, we should know that, but normally we don't discuss it as much in application, especially because normally you want to include the equal sign. Okay, so we will start with this one, and after that I will a little bit talk about the first type because they are related. So we have to know this one first, and then only you get the strict inequality. Okay, all right. So let's do by example, and that can be generalized. So let's say we do something bigger than we start with this. Now, if you have an equality, something bigger than, let's say I have 5x plus 8y bigger or equal to 50. So that is an example. Now, what you want to do here, you want to find the inequality. So what we do here, we do it like a function, You want to see the graph of the inequality. How does it look like on the graph? So find inequality meaning how does it look like? Okay, how does it look like? So let us do that. Now, how do you draw a graph of the inequality? And then how do you determine the inequality? Now, first, we start with the equation. So you use the corresponding equation, which we know, all right? The corresponding equation. So for that example of the inequality, what is the corresponding equation? It would be 5x plus 8y equal 50. So we start with something that we already know, all right? So you draw that equation. So draw this equation. Okay, now draw the equation. You have to do it quickly. You find the x-intercept, find the y-intercept, draw it. Okay, draw it means you put a scale, a roughly scale, and then get the line. Okay, do it now. Do it quickly. By now, we can do this in 2 minutes.
So we want to find the point.
Okay,
Point.
what is the x-intercept?
X-intercept 10.
10, very easy. Okay.
10, yeah. 10.
The y-intercept?
6.
6.25.
6.25.
Yeah, 6.25. Yeah.
6.25. Okay, you find the intercepts nicely. You already mentioned to me. So I just draw the line. Okay. So you draw the line, you put in the, what do I call it? The values and determine the interval. So I have that. So you have 10, 6.25. So we can use interval of 10. So scale of 10, 10, 20, 0, 10, 20. So you go down here, that's negative 10. Here is negative 10. So first point is 10, 0. So that is our point. Secondly, 0, 6.25, somewhere here. So you connect the 2 points. That would be our equation. 5x plus 8y equal 50. Now, you don't want just that equation. You want inequality. Okay? So inequality, I go back to here. Inequality would be what? Would be when you have the equation, you see the line. Okay? Line means all points that show all points that satisfy the equation. Okay, that satisfies the equation. So every point on the line, if you add 5x plus 8y, what do I get? I get 50. For example, 10, 0. What does 10, 0 means? 10, 0 means if I put in the equation, I got what? I got 5 times 10 plus 8 times 0, that is equal to 50. So that satisfies the equation. So all the points on the line will satisfy the equation. So there are infinitely many points on the line. So you got this point, that point, every point on the line will satisfy the equation. Now, that is only one part of the inequality. We only cover the first part, equal to. Now, what you want next is you want to find the inequality, the one that is not equal, equality, the one that is not equal. Okay? In this case, what? Bigger than. So you want to find the points that will be bigger than 50. So what do we do? Okay, this is how we do. We take a test point. Now, the test point can be any point. All right, test point, any point. It's up to you. Okay, any point. It's up to you. It's your choice. And then we test that point. Okay, all right. So if we take the test point, then before we take the test point, I will make a few generalizations. So you take a test point. All right, I think we choose a test point. Okay, give me one test point. Any point on the graph.
X equal 20.
X equal 20. That's not a point. Point means you have the value of X and also the value of Y.
Okay, the value of X,
X 20, what is Y?
0 or
0.
Hmm.
Or you give me 20,
Or 18.
Or give 18. Okay,
18.
20, 18, somewhere here. Okay, that's one point. Okay, give me another point.
X 12.
Okay, X 12.
And Y 22.
22. Give me the other side. Give me the other side.
And the negative
X
side.
12, negative 10. That's one
Negative
point.
10.
So we do one side, 1 point per side. All right. So of course you can take any point you like. You can take 1,000, 3,000, 1 million, 4 million. you know, or you can take negative 4 million, positive 1.5 million. It's up to you. Okay, if you like big numbers, you take big points. If you want simple numbers, then you choose smaller number. Okay, give me a smaller number than the number that we have here. Smaller number, simpler work. Okay, give me a smaller number than what you have already here. Cepatlah. I have here 36 people, you know. Give me 1 point that is smaller than the point that is given by what is your name?
Taha Abdul Latif.
Okay, give me 1 point bigger, smaller than. Nearer to the origin lah, nearer to the origin, smaller point. Cepatlah. Ayo, quick. We don't want to waste time.
5.
5? 5 and what? You don't give me only the value of x. You have to give also the value of y. Because the point means what? X, y. 5 and 2. Okay, 5 and 2 be somewhere, 10 and 2. 10 and 2 be somewhere here. Okay, give me another point, smaller than that.
3 and 1.
3 and 1. Good. Give me one more point, smaller than that. That's about the same thing. Apa tadi? 1 and negative 3? Wow, okay, 1 negative 3. Give me smaller than that. 1 negative 3 is somewhere there. Okay, smaller.
0, negative 5.
0 and what?
Negative 5.
Negative 5. I don't want 0 and negative 5. What is that point?
Negative 2, negative 2.
No, this point. 0. This point, situ. I am pointing here. 0 what?
0, 0, 0, 8,
0, 0.
X, 0, Y.
So the simplest point is what? 0, 0. Okay. So simplest point 0, 0. I will show you why we choose 0, 0. But let me choose the points that were given here. Okay. All right. Now let's start with this point. This point here is 10, negative 10. So let's say our test point is 10, negative 10. So consider the test point 10, negative 10. Now you want to test that point. Does it satisfy the inequality or not? So what we do, we substitute. Okay, the point 10, negative 10 into the inequality. All right, into what is the inequality? 5x plus 8y bigger or equal to 50. Now equal we already have, you know, that is on the line. So now we want to test whether it's bigger or not. So we substitute. What do we have? We have 5 times 10 plus 8 times negative 10. What is it equal to? You got 50 minus 80. So that is equal to negative 30. Now, is negative 30 bigger than 50?
No.
Is it bigger or not?
No.
No, it's not bigger than. Okay. In fact, okay, 30 is less than 50. Okay, 30 is less than 50. So therefore, 10, negative 10, does not satisfy the inequality. Okay, so that point that we choose 10, negative 10 does not satisfy the inequality. So that point, I put a bigger cross. No, cannot. Doesn't satisfy. So that point does not belong to the inequality. Okay, all right. Now, if that point does not satisfy the inequality, then, okay, then all the points, okay, all the other points, all the points on the same side as our test point, as 10, negative 10, will not satisfy or do not satisfy the inequality. The equality, what I mean, benda ni lah, you know, satisfy the inequality, 5x plus 8y bigger or equal to 50. Okay, so do you understand what does it mean? Okay, read one more time. Make sure you understand what it says. If you don't, ask, tell me. Okay, read one more time. You write and you read. Okay, what does it mean? Then all the points on the same side as 10, negative 10, from the line, okay, from the line, same side, means from the line, do not satisfy the inequality. Okay, you got it? Anybody has a question on that one? So, I go back to the graph. Okay, now what about this point here? Does it satisfy or not?
No.
What about here?
No.
No.
No. That means every point on the same side of that point will not satisfy the inequality. Bigger than. All right? Okay, good. So by now, I think you have some idea. So let me do the test point number 2. Okay, the test point number 2 is what? Is 20, berapa tadi? 2018. Okay, so we test the second point, 2018. So let's do that. Test point 2018. So again here, substitute. All right, so what do I get? I get 520 plus 8, 18 equal to 100 plus berapa tu? 18 times 18 berapa? 8 times 18. 144. Betul. 18 times 8, 144. Betul. 144. So that is equal to 4. Is it bigger than 50?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
bigger.
bigger than 50. So what does it mean? It means that 2018 satisfy the inequality. The inequality that you have now, okay? 5x plus 8y satisfy the inequality. So I go back to the graph. So that point here satisfy the inequality. All right. Now, when that point satisfies the inequality, if we follow the same argument as the one that I made before with regard to, you know, the test point, the first one, what about the point here? What about the point over here? What about the point here? What about the point over there? Do they satisfy or they don't satisfy? Do they satisfy or they don't?
They satisfy.
Satisfy, right?
They will satisfy. Follow the same argument. All right. So therefore, right, 2018 satisfy the inequality. So all, okay, we repeat the argument. So all the points on the same side, okay, same side as our test point, 2018, will satisfy. the inequality. So all the points on the same side as 2018 will satisfy the inequality. So there are infinitely so many points. So what we do it by put a color lah, you know. So normally what we do, you know, if you look at the book, they put a color like a different color. So since for us, you know, we don't have that facility, we'll do it by shading. You can draw the shade. So you shade the points on that side to indicate these are the points that contribute to the inequality. So therefore, this side is our inequality. So 5x plus 8y bigger or equal to 50. So you write down. So if the test point satisfy the inequality, right, then all the points on the same side as that point will satisfy the inequality. Okay. And if the test point does not satisfy the inequality, then all the points on the same side as that test point that you choose will not satisfy the inequality. Okay. Do you get the idea? Anybody has a problem with that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. So now my third point is this. This is number 2, number 3. So if you have a test point, so number 3, if you choose a test point, okay, let's say you choose a test point, and then by doing the substitution, satisfy. Okay, if the test point satisfied, that means what you have is case number 2. If the test point satisfied, then you are all good. Okay, all good, because all the points on the same side will satisfy. Now, you can also have the case of number 1. The test point do not satisfy. If the test point does not satisfy, then what do? It's not good. Okay, so how do you go ahead and find the inequality? Because as we already mentioned here, okay, call it number 1. If the test point does not satisfy, then all the points on the same side will not satisfy. Okay, we know that already. If the test point satisfy, then all the points on the same side as the test point will satisfy. So if you follow that, if you have your test point satisfied, then everything will be good. That means that side will be the inequality. Now, what about if the test point that you choose does not satisfy? So what should we do?
Choose another point.
Okay, so one choice is you choose another point. Now you choose another point. Where is the point?
0, 0.
So you choose another point. Okay, before we come to 0, 0, I will continue from here. Let's finish this. You want to choose another point. Okay, now if you want to choose another point, what is the criteria of that point?
It has to be greater than inequality.
So let's suppose this point does not satisfy. We already, let's say we go back to this example. Suppose this point you test, does not satisfy. So if you want to choose another point, which point are you going to choose? Criteria, what is the criteria of that point? Which point are we going to choose?
Is it the one on the different side?
So you will choose a point on the other side lah. Okay. So if you want to choose a point, don't choose this point. Don't choose the point on the same side. Because if you do that, what happens? You will get the same outcome. So if you want to choose another point, you choose a point on the other side. Okay. So if this one doesn't satisfy, therefore you choose point A. Okay. You choose that point 2018 or 2050. Okay. So that is one option. Okay. You choose another point, the other side. Okay. Make sure that the side. If you choose same side, then you will do it until tomorrow. You will not get the inequality. Okay. Because we already set the conditions. All right. Now that's one. Now what is number two? What is the other option? Other than choosing another point.
Zero, zero.
No, before we come to 0, 0. Okay, before we come to 0, 0. We know, okay, we know that the point that we choose, the test point does not satisfy. All right. And of course, you can test another point on the other side. Okay. Now, there is another option. Okay, from 1 and 2. Okay, from 1 and 2, you don't have to choose a point. Okay. Now, if you don't choose a point, then how do you determine it? Okay, if that point does not satisfy, all right, you conclude right away. What? What is our conclusion with regard to the inequality? You can get it from number 1, number 2. So, how? I want you to think. Okay, if the test point does not satisfy, okay, then you can choose another point, the other side. That's good. Okay, but you don't have to choose another point on the other side. You can what? You can argue and locate the inequality. How do you argue? We can conclude this. Okay, if the test point does not satisfy, that means all the points on the same side as the test point will not satisfy. Therefore, what is the inequality? Therefore, all the points where which side of the line? All the points where? All the points the other side. Okay, the other side of the inequality will satisfy. So you don't have to test another point. You just conclude right away, because there are only two options. All right, there are two alternatives. If one is not the one that you want, if one is not the one that we need or that you want to find, then what? Then should be the other one. Okay, because you have only two. You have only two options, either up or down, or left or right. Okay, if it is not down, then what? Then up. If it is not left, then what? Then it is the right. Okay, do you understand what I say? So you don't have to test another point. We just conclude that the other side. So in short, the other side. Okay, the other side would be, okay, would be the inequality. Kita patut stop berapa 3:30, 4:30. Okay, we should stop. All right, so I will continue here on Saturday. Friday 3:30. I will continue from here. So I give you another example. Okay, give you another example. Let's say I give you negative 3x plus 8y less or equal than 100. Okay, I want you to find the inequality. So what you do, you take a test point. Now, test point, it doesn't matter. You can take either left or right or below or above the line. Doesn't matter, only the test point. Now you do the test, see whether that test point that you choose satisfy or do not satisfy the inequality. Okay? Now, if your test point does satisfy the inequality, that's good. So that area, that side will be the inequality. If the test point does not satisfy, then what? Then the other side will be the inequality. All right? So just practice on this one. Okay, so we continue from here on Friday. Okay, so I think I take you longer than normally. So I will see you again. Have a nice weekend. Okay, the homework. All right, don't forget the homework. The homework will be due on Sunday. Okay.